Where do your thoughts come from? Have you ever considered that? Have you ever wondered, where do your thoughts come from? You might think, what am I going to have for dinner? Where did that thought come from? Did you make it happen? Or does it just arise somehow? You might think, I don't like what that person said about me. Doesn't make me feel good. Where did that thought come from? I actually don't know. I don't have an answer. You might have some thoughts about that which you could share with me. But our thinking is so interesting. We can get bogged down with a whole series of thoughts. One thought just pops up, and that leads to another one, and another one, and another one. Could be different types of thoughts. Could be doubting thoughts. Could be thoughts to do with the past, like maybe you're replaying a conversation and you're thinking about what you said, maybe what you should have said, what you would have liked to have said. There'll be a lot of thinking about that. Or you could think about the future. Could be imagining situations in the future, pleasant ones, not so pleasant ones. Some of us get into thinking about the worst case scenario sometimes. I know I used to do that quite a lot because I wanted to be prepared, but I don't know where the thoughts came from. But I did wonder if I could be prepared in some sort of way. I don't know. It's all a bit fuzzy, but really I was trying to work it out so that if I actually felt the feelings of the worst case scenario, then actually if it did really happen, then I'd be warned or prepared, then I'd know what to do. So I think that's been a big thing for me in the past, trying to imagine future situations and work out what to do, what to say, how to cope, just in some sort of way so that I would survive it, or so that I wouldn't get it wrong, and so I wouldn't be judged or criticised for it. I don't know. Very complex. But that is sort of getting away from the question, where do the thoughts come from? Maybe they come from our past experiences. Maybe they come from our emotions. Maybe they come from our beliefs. But I don't know, because they just seem to arise. Research shows that a lot of our thoughts, 90-something% of our thoughts, are actually on repeat. They're thoughts that we've thought of before, the thoughts that we have thought before. And we're just repeating them, thinking the same things. Sometimes the same words, sometimes they're edited. We don't know. Where do they come from? And did you notice, or have you experienced, where you get one train of thoughts where it's sort of negative or doubting, complaining, self-judging, and then there's another voice that pops up, which actually is reassuring, trying to reassure you that actually you are okay, and the whole situation's okay, and you can cope. How can it be that we have these two types of thoughts almost at the same time? But not really, because they're one after the other. And sometimes that can feel like they're arguing. And if there was some sort of goodness in your thoughts, where would that come from? Where would those thoughts, the reassuring thoughts, where would they arise from? Maybe there's different levels inside you or different parts. Maybe the reassuring thoughts come from a place of goodness that's actually deep inside you. That's true for you, with a good intention of trying to help you, an intention of trying to make you feel okay about what is happening and about you, that you are worthy and that you are of value. And maybe those other thoughts, so-called negative thoughts, maybe they're just, I don't know, just arising from somewhere. You can have a look at your thoughts, have a think about your thoughts, and just be curious about it, really. One thing I realised recently when I was just sitting quietly in my lounge, in my basket swing seat, looking out at the greenery outside, I realised that life goes on regardless of what I think. That was something amazing to realise, that life goes on. Life flows, life is as it is. And really, my thinking is not going to make any difference to that. My thinking is not going to make any difference to how I am in the future or how I was in the past. My thinking is just thinking. And when I really look at the thoughts that I have, they're not actually reliable. You know, they repeat. They go from one end of the spectrum to the other in terms of how I feel about them. They get into doubting. They get into analysing. They can be quite busy, but they don't actually make a difference to life. So what I really want in life is to just stay here, to be here in this moment, in the silence that is deep inside. And when I am in this silence, there are no unreliable thoughts. A thought might pop up. Thinking might happen. Speaking might happen. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean I'm worthy or unworthy. It doesn't mean I'm liked or not liked. It doesn't mean anything. The thoughts can carry on if they want to, if they arise from wherever. They can just be thought, but do not need to be believed, do not need to have any sort of extra meaning attached to them. and they can just float on through. And I can stay in silence. The silence, it is so spacious, so expansive. No edges or boundaries to it. Just beautiful silence. And it's quiet and it's still. And it's always here. No matter what's going on in my head, no matter what's going on outside, no matter what I'm speaking. And the action that I take from this silence is true. It's right. And what I speak, it's just what words arise to speak. Silence.